Aloha, hoku, ohana. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for your reading. The one message I want to open up with is the surrounding energy around you is so beautiful, and it's only because I'm hearing energy going on within your internal atmosphere is super, super beautiful. And I'm hearing reality and the external is actually going through an acclimatation process. I'm hearing it's alchemizing, which is about going through a transformation. Okay, so your reality is transforming right now, but it's acclimating. Okay, it's going through an acclimatization process. Mercury is literally stationing retrograde the day that I'm recording this, so there could be things that you're kind of reviewing, revising, reflecting on, slowing down, and actually that's a lot to do with the astral travel messages that have come through today and the first message that came through in the Cosmos Oracle message. So let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. So the energy going on, not just within you, and I'm hearing this is like a huge mirror. Okay, this is a huge mirror. So the energy that you're seeing externally is a literal reflection of what's going on within you. And around you, you may feel like things are slowing down, okay, especially with stratus pause, because we have slow downing energy, right? Literally, Mercury is maybe you're having to think more before you actually, articulate yourself. But stratus pause talks about a transition stage that you're at. So you may feel like you're in between not just timelines, but also you're in the corridor phase, okay? And we had a quantum corridor energy come through actually in a few readings ago, and I believe we were talking about, I'm seeing the death card right now for you. So this is where you're closing out a very specific chapter of your life, even if this is certain ways that you've been navigating this construct, and there is a new door that is being revealed to you. Okay, even the SD card is writing slow speed right now. Okay, so yeah, you're in between worlds right now, and it's almost as if this isn't forever. This is like a transition period. We'll go ahead and read it. Transformation led by personal choice. So there is a decision that you've made to slow down, to reflect, to reviews. I'm hearing what stays, what goes, and also where you're staying and where it is that you're going, okay, and where it is that you're moving towards. All right. And the stratosphere is the level of the atmosphere, which is a boundary between two layers, the metasphere and the stratosphere. It's upper limit, turning point. So it's a turning point for you, which gives way to dynamic balance and complete balance, or descends to the coldest part of the atmosphere, which is the metasphere. So this is a place of transit, just like a bus stop. It basically says there's no reason why you're going to be here for so long. But the decision about where to go, what bus to get on, is going to be up to you. But you have two polar opposites. Do you go left or do you go right? And it talks about a black or white, a left or right, a yes or no. And I feel like there is some huge life altering decision that you're making that leads you in a complete different trajectory, and this feels like something incredibly profound. Okay, like the energy that's surfacing right now, this feels like something incredibly profound that you're making a decision in regards to. So the important thing to know is that nothing pulls us to any of them more than our final determination. The result of this determination will be affected by the brief period we spend there. So you could be taking yourself, I'm hearing, on the mental plane to these different destinations, and you're seeing, I'm hearing, which one has the strongest point of resonance to not just you, but the quality. I'm hearing, when I say quality, I'm talking about the vibration, which one is vibrationally aligned with intentions that you have, and also which one is vibrationally aligned with your highest possible expansion and experience on earth, which timeline is the most supportive for really soul growth. Okay, and a lot of you, this could be about actually having to, oh, what's the word, there's like a big emphasis here, it's about disrupting your comfort zone but it feels like you're actively having to do this in some way. Now, the card after Stratus Pause is Binary Star. Binary Star talks about something sharing your path, but there is an illusion of separation. Let me go ahead and read it real quick for you. Binary Star. Binary Star talks about stars in harmony, stars that are physically bound and that orbit a common point. Observing these stars is a difficult but fundamental task for astronomers. Binary stars form part of the same system. One orbits the other. There is mutual understanding that they share the same path. Unlike optical illusions, they do not try to change the path of the other, nor is there an illusionary union. Simply by being, they belong and respond to each other through an inevitable and harmonic dance dedicated to being. So there is a strong essence of, honestly, it feels like kind of a split between the ego and the soul, where the ego or the physical vessel, um, and this feels like left or right, right? So it feels like masculine versus feminine. It feels like you're physical and then also you're non-physical, and you're having to apply yourself in the physical realm with invisible not just intentions, but an invisible knowing that you have. And I'm seeing the deep knowing card for you, where your soul is really guiding you towards a very specific direction, but there could be a strong aversion to it. There could be a strong reluctancy because of the in between period, okay, that we call time here. And time is the distance between two events. Consciousness, when it comes to you visualizing and also sending your consciousness beyond the physical, okay, and into the quantum field, is actually picking up on what awaits you at the other side of time, okay? And you're collapsing time because you're taking yourself there in the quantum before you arrive there in the physical. And there is this vision that you have. There is like, this could be a location that you're being guided to go, but I'm seeing like a coordinate specifically. So this is a very specific um trajectory within space and time. And that's the energy that's coming through for you. It's like there's a strong reluctancy, but there's also this strong pull, like a magnetic pull that you're also receiving. Now, we'll go ahead and read what came up next, right? So the next card is Stratosphere. Stratosphere. Okay, and Binary Star also. I'm hearing the reason you feel such a strong pull, it's because it's part of your pre-incarnation intentions that you had, okay, to experience. And I'm hearing this is the very reason why it's going to be a catalyst for you. Now, Stratosphere actually talks about things being in perfect harmony. Now, what I find really interesting is Four of Wands came out, which is about a celebration. It's also about soul contracts. Okay, and it's also about a home, like a homecoming. Like it feels like you're coming home. It basically comes after the Three of Wands. And if you know tarot, the Three of Wands is somebody feeling entangled to a very specific quantum vision that they have. And it usually is a trip away, it usually is an answer away, it may even be a question away. And they're having to get ready to ride some kind of new wave of change in their life. And this is something that is non physical, but is about to collapse into a very tangible physical experience. It's something that they're seeing in their mind that they're soon to hold in their hand. The Four of Wands energy is saying that things are exactly in harmony for you to be able to hold this thing in your hand. Okay, I'm hearing, or allow this environment to hold you. All right, I'm hearing also hold space for you. There's something about an environment, and I'm seeing the environment being a hand, like holding you. And this is like a welcoming energy as well. So I feel like you're about to be welcomed into some kind of new experience. You're about to be welcomed into, this is soul family. That's what Four of Wands is. It's soul family. It feels like you're being welcomed into a very specific dimensional sphere. It's like your galactic brothers and sisters are opening up this portal, or this, safe passage, beckoning you to safely come and learn more about what your full potential looks like. And it feels as if you're being called to step into your full potential right now. That's a very strong energy that's coming through. And we'll go ahead and read it. This talks about harmony, right? With stratosphere, perfect balance, certainty, and protection. Again, it's like you're being protected to come and safely learn more. Support, guidance, shelter, perseverance, and harmony. The stratosphere fulfills the role of the protector of all, for all forms of life on planet Earth. At its highest point, you can find the ozone layer, which is responsible for absorbing the sun's ultraviolet rays. Strato means layer, and it's the perfect space where there will be dynamic balance and constant temperature, where you will find no storms or turbulence. Enjoy the ease, peace, and protection that it brings you. Life, as we know it, would not be possible without it. You know what it feels like? It feels like the leading up moment. I don't know if you've ever done something where it's like there's been a lot of anticipation that's built until you actually arrive somewhere. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost as if there's so much anticipation that's built up into a certain event, and then once you get there, it's almost like, oh, why was I stressing about this? Or, oh, I'm so glad that I did say yes to this thing. I feel like it's going to be one of those moments for you, for sure. Anyway, we haven't even gotten to the astral travel messages as well. The time is 1:23 on the clock as well. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? I anchored some messages from the astral realm. So we're going to talk about that now. Let me just remove this. And also the portal is 333 for this, and it's to be thankful. So I feel like this is something that, again, you're going to be thanking yourself for. I'm hearing it's something that your future self will thank you for. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. But I'm hearing allow yourself to know that you are your future self, but you're anchoring yourself into the present moment and applying your free will that in a way that allows you to experience the becoming of something that has already came to be. Anyway, traveling, that was the theme for the astral. You were also kayaking, and I saw someone slowing down the pace to really enjoy. I think not, sir. Okay. To really enjoy these different waves that were coming in. So I basically saw kayaking, and then there were these different waves, and they hit slow motion on a remote control to basically slow mo their reality, right? To put everything into slow motion. So this is giving me a time dilation bubble where it's something that you've been contemplating internally for a while now. And I'm hearing they're showing me the ultraviolet card, which is also on stratosphere, because again, it talks about absorbing the sun's ultraviolet rays, which are higher bandwidths of frequency light. So this could be downloads that you've been anchoring in. It's linked to the upper dantian and the higher intuitive faculties. This is like invisible guidance that you're receiving from the soul. It's connected to the higher self. So these are things that you're acting upon where you're being guided by the non-physical through your experience in the physical realm. And it requires a lot of self-trust, and you're absorbing this information anyway, and it's changing the way that you navigate this experience on earth. And information is very healing for you as well, because you're able to integrate an internal knowing into this experience anyway. You also got to play back the waves, all right? So you really got to enjoy. You wouldn't have captured the moment otherwise, because if you left everything in like real time, or real time, the waves would have happened so fast that you didn't get to see the fishes that were immersed within this wave. Okay. So what you did was hit slow-mo so that you could spot fishes that you wouldn't have been revealed to you otherwise. It's like, I remember there was like a huge blackfish and just other fishes that you wouldn't have seen had the waves been super fast. So I feel like that's why there's a reviewing or revising period that you're going through to really appreciate the journey itself and what will coalesce with you along this journey of life. So this could be about the people that are entering into your experience. I'm hearing just the small things that happen, but every fish was in the wave, and you were taking the time to appreciate the things that you couldn't see before. So it does feel like that's what's happening. It's almost like this internal processing that you've gone through may have felt like this, again, slow period. Maybe right now you feel like you're kind of at a standstill, But I'm hearing not all progress is visible. Okay, this internal introspection that you're going through, it's invisible progress. All right, and that's what ultraviolet is. Especially absorbing the sun's rays. Right, this is about the source within. The sun is plasma. Right, so it's almost like you're intercommunicating with your plasma origins, and it's changing the way that you relate to your experience on earth, right? That's what's going through the way that you navigate this experience, the way that you feel about this experience, and the way that you see it too. But yeah, it's you were able to capture these things in the moment, and you could enter back into that frame vibration if you wanted to. So with the kayaking, this shows slowing down the pace, right? You're slowing down the pace to enjoy the fishes in every wave on the playback in slow motion. This is about you revisiting life experiences, okay? And the waves are not in haste, but in presence and reverence. So you're able to be more present in a way that you hadn't been before. I'm hearing you can see things from a different angle. You know, when you watch back a movie, you kind of pick up on things that you hadn't seen the first time. And then when you watch it back a third time, you pick up on things that you didn't see the second time or the first time. That's what I'm seeing for you. It's almost as if your perspective on your journey of life has evolved as you are, right? As you've evolved, your perspective is evolving as you're evolving. And fishes and every wave invokes the idea of drawing insight or sustenance from each emotional current, right, that you've undergone, catching the meaning behind the motion, right? So playback in slow motion is reflection and integration. All right, if you think about it, it's also emotion, which is just energy and motion. It's like you're kind of reclaiming time in some way by healing through memory and reception, right? It's almost as if you're taking yourself back to certain experiences that could be, incredibly painful, incredibly traumatic. But trauma is just, certain energy that hasn't been integrated yet. And true integration is to look at an experience, revisit an experience within the mind, because I'm hearing time and time travel, and thought are the same sixth sense, right? Where you can time travel within the mind and you can go back to certain experiences and live in that frame vibration and re-immerse yourself. And I'm hearing, how would the present version of self, how would your higher self, okay, when you are present, respond to those circumstances? And you're kind of recoding those experiences. That's what I'm seeing. You know how, again, when you change the past, or this is a very interesting, when you see movies where people go back to the past, it's like, what would you rather do? Go to the future or go to the past? And they're like, well, you can't go to the past because otherwise that's a grandfather effect, right? Where if you what was it, if you kill the baby, then you wouldn't be here, right? It's that kind of energy where it's like, oh, if you change the past, it would completely shift you in the present moment. And maybe a certain version of you wouldn't exist any longer, and maybe that's the version of you that holds on to certain trauma. Maybe that's the version of you that holds on to certain pain or resentment, right? And instead, you're now leading with love in this experience, because you're not holding the burden of regret on your own heart. You're able to alchemize it because you're able to look at your experience very differently. And true wisdom is to re-immerse yourself back into that experience, but it not trigger you anymore, because the trigger is just revealing a place within you that is not yet free, an emotion, which is energy in motion that is stuck, just waiting to be released and alchemized, right? Which is changing your perspective, which will inevitably change the way that you feel. So yeah, this is about reperception. So I feel like you are going back to the past, but through your mind, you are a time traveler, and you're you're giving yourself something that you needed most in that moment. And I'm seeing childhood come up a lot, which is super interesting. So it's almost like you could be doing inner child healing during this time as well. But yeah, every fish has its wave. So every soul has its own unique rhythm. I feel like you're learning to really respect that. Especially if you're earlier on in this journey of self discovery and really seeing the true nature of this reality. But, every soul has their own timeline, has their own journey, and you're learning to respect the individuality or frequency, and how every being surfs their own wave, right? And carries their own purpose and reveals new dimensions when observed closely. This is the line that encourages compassionate presence, where you can, maybe see someone that acted from exaggerated emotions, and you can hold space for them in a way that maybe you weren't able to do for yourself at the time, right? This is where you're slowing down to truly see others and yourself, and you're able to see that in new ways. Maybe you're able to look back at a person who was really cruel to you, once upon a time, or I'm seeing childhood again show up, and you're realizing, okay, all cruelty springs from weakness. Anger is fear in disguise, and you can see where unresolved emotions internally come to the surface, sometimes in very unconscious ways within individuals. Everything is an act of love, or a call for love, and you can see where there was a call for love, there was a call for attention, there was a call for, I am wounded and I am scared and I am acting and projecting my fear externally, and I'm not even totally aware of it. I just feel like you're able to hold more space for others as you hold space for yourself, right? So yeah, pictures that are captured and in the moment, and you're re-entering frames vibrationally, and I feel like there is so much healing that's taking place here. And this is about time travel again through emotion and energy. And there are sacred moments and soul alignments that you're remembering and wanting to re enter vibrationally, not physically, but you're re entering them vibrationally. This could be to close out certain. I'm hearing timeline loops. Okay. This is also, especially if you find yourself going back to a very specific memory, it's for a reason during this time. I feel like you're tying up loose ends as well. This could be about clearing certain karmic contracts. Maybe you've been, having the same kind of energy respawn into your simulation with a different body, and that's something that you're getting to the root cause or the origin point of, in order to. I'm hearing debug, okay, detect to debug certain programs. Yeah, which is super interesting. And this is internally. I feel like this is internal programs because I was just hearing hijack, and this is about the amygdala hijack. I feel like where there is a certain trigger, or there is a certain fight or flight response every time you deal with a very specific. I'm hearing sentence that someone says that's triggered you. It's like you're getting to the origin point, to the point where you are completely neutral, and that doesn't mean that you're absent to the emotion. It's that you're able to see what the emotion is revealing to you and see it clearly, right? And I'm hearing see others clearly as a result of that. I'm hearing you will know yourself by how you respond, okay? By your response and through your response. And I feel like you're giving yourself more time to respond instead of just react in this experience. So yeah, you're remembering and wanting to, re-enter these frames. And it's about reclaiming your frequency of joy, stillness, connection, and wonder, of returning to who you were in that moment rather than chasing the moment itself. It's almost as if I feel like you're giving yourself grace. That's what's coming through. If you had the level of awareness and wisdom now in those experiences, how would that change the experience? How would that change your timeline? And I feel like that's exactly what's going on. It's like as you change yourself in the present moment, you also begin to change your past and future simultaneously. And it's also shifting the future timelines that are becoming accessible to you in a linear fashion. That's like a huge energy that's coming through as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful energy. You're continuing these parallel lives, even in dream time. And yeah, these are where timelines continue to unfold. Maybe this is about astral healing that's taking place during this time. You're attuned into the non-linear nature of reality, which is knowing that you're a quantum being and remembering yourself as such. You are going back to certain timelines in the past, right? Past, if that's what we want to call it, these parallel timelines. And you're changing your resonance to them. And it's allowed to completely detach yourself from this matrix, the stories that have played out. You're clearing your relationship to the matrix and returning back to your true self, which is the part of you that's unaffected by time and the events that transpire in this dimensional plane. And it's the eternal essence within. Clear your relationship to the matrix right now. Just be here. Just be here with me now in the eternal, everlasting presence that is within you throughout all journeys in space and time, transcending into higher dimensional universes, atmospheres. Just clear your relationship to the matrix and come back now. So yeah, the last scene I saw was you stripping down paint in a bedroom wall. Bedrooms are 12th house energy. Okay, 12th house is all about your connection to the non-physical aspect of yourself, your guides, your connection to a higher power. It also represents again the bedroom. So this is a metaphor where you're shifting your inner environment, and because of that, you're clearing out old layers, outdated identities. Maybe there's a certain belief systems that you've had, and those belief systems have kind of shaped a certain version of yourself. Maybe it's been who you've been in survival and who you know yourself now to be. The version of yourself that doesn't react to that thing, right? The version of yourself that quietly has that, I'm hearing, internal reaction, but is able to neutralize that energy, is able to dissolve internal conflict and tension and come back into harmony, internal harmony, where your emotional state is not dependent upon the external stimuli, where your internal harmony is not disrupted by your relationship to the matrix, your relationship to players and characters. I'm hearing non-player characters. And I feel like there is a lot more compassionate. I'm hearing a compassionate lens that's been extended. Okay. Yeah, but this is clearing out residual energy. And it feels like you're kind of claiming your life force back, where you've been entangled, where your creative life force, you being pure creative life force seated in a physical vessel, has been kind of scattered across these timelines. And it feels like you're going back to these experiences to reclaim parts of yourself, right? It's almost like you've been reinforcing a very particular theme, a theme, okay, in your life. Maybe it's about mistrust, right? And it's less about you not trusting others, but being able to trust yourself. I'm hearing when it's time to detach from certain experiences, when it's time to move through certain experiences. But the desire to paint comes after the stripping, right? You're preparing a blank canvas for a new frequency, a new cycle, and a new soul color that I feel like you're expressing, right? So, what is your creative color when painting this experience? Are you painting it with purple, maybe the crown chakra, right? And you're seeing life through the lens of, the crown, which is the interconnectedness to all things. Are you seeing it through even the heart chakra, where there's this interconnectedness to all beings and seeing others as extensions of yourself? When you see life through the purple lens and the crown chakra, and that being your biggest filter of perception, you see everyone else as light beings, and where that light may be suppressed, where that light may be rediscovered, where that light is waiting to be discovered and uncovered. Um, you know, are you seeing life through maybe like an indigo color, like the third eye, and you're able to attune to what's going on behind the veil, right? Through the veil, where you're constantly being surrounded by many beings and archetypes, and whether that be guides or angels or deities, these different kind of expressions manifested from your subconscious mind. This is your multisensory perception system. This is where you can travel with the mind. Are you able to do that right now and trust your ability to foresee your destiny before it unfolds, different destined outcomes before it unfolds? You get to decide what it is that you want to align yourself with in this experience. What is your biggest filter of perception? What is your creative color? Let me know, guys, in the description, in the playback comments. Also, in the live chat, if you're watching this in the live chat, what is your creative color right now? What is needed at this stage in your evolution journey? And is that shifting, right? Maybe you're filling yourself with gold light, and that helps clear up any blockages or debris within the body. Are you seeing it through white? Get creative, guys. Get creative with it. The iridescent, glimmers, or has it got this shimmering golden luminescent essence to it? What is there, like a sparkle? Is there is it matte? Is it shimmery? What is it? Is it glistening? Is it reflective? Is it transcendent? Is it transparent? You know, what is it? And what is the texture of it as well? That's what I'm seeing for you. That could be really interesting. Let me know. I'm curious. What are your creative colors right now? What are you filling your crown chakra with? What are you filling your eighth chakra with, right? What is it? What is the color of your soul frequency right now? Let me know. Let's have fun with it. So I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. And yeah, we have some very, very interesting journeys upcoming. Really excited to bring you guys along. And yeah, all at the right moment in space and the right moment in time, our world lines will collide. So yes, if I didn't say it already, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around, join the whole Kohana. Personal reading details also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit's discount code that we have down below for a generous discount on AAA grade jewelry. This is a small family owned business, Otter Spirit, who handcraft these beautiful gemstones. You can individually select them, and you can layer them. That's generally what I do a lot of the times. Or they have zodiac packs that you are able to rep if you want to work with very specific archetypes in this matrix, and you want to embrace those different dualities. And then they also have a chakra collection as well, so you can work with very specific energetic vortices, very specific energetic points. These are almost kinetic velocity generators, if you will, that you're able to tune into. These are just physical tools that you can use. I'm hearing through your metaphysical travels, so that's beautiful as well. $1 of the proceeds is donated towards Otter sanctuaries as well. And I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Until next time, bye!